Only thing that matters is on game day. You have to be able to bring it on game day. You can't think about, oh, this person's on paper, he's just way ahead of me. No, it's never like that, because every dog has his day. But you can psych yourself out of anything if you focus on the other person, right? Because once you focus on the other person, well, now you're not in your own zone. And once you're not in your own zone, anything's going to knock you off, man. So you just have to trust that, like, look, you almost have to over exaggerate that belief. You have to think of yourself bigger than you actually are. And in time, you will get there. It's like the ultimate goal in life, in sports in general, life in general, it's simple: to have more good days and bad days. There's 7 days in a week. If you have 4 solid days of training and you have 1 that's mediocre and you have 2 that wasn't so good, you won the week. You won the week, right? So the plan is to just make sure you're going out and giving your honest effort every single day. And the grind of sports, the grind of anything is not fun, because there's going to be a lot of times where you're just going to have to put your head down and just do the work and just make it happen. And it's not going to be fun. And life isn't always fun like that. But the moments, how you handle those grinding times, that's going to transform your character into something that it already is. You know, a lot of people go around and they think that they can just mold all these things together. It's not always the case, right? Like, success comes from within. Like, that's why we were built from the inside out. Like, our heart's inside of us, not the outside, right? Nobody can see your heart. Your heart's inside of you, right? And a lot of the times you're going to have to impose your will on your opponents and impose your will on those who are even think they can be in the same league with you, right? Because if you have to know that, like, to dominate any sport, you have to know that there's nobody on this earth that can beat you. It doesn't matter what age you are. It doesn't matter what category you are. You don't go into anything thinking that anybody can beat you, because if you do, you already defeated, right? I never went into a race. It didn't matter who I was up against, Bolt, Blake, Johan, it doesn't matter. I always expected to win. You got to expect success. And just because you say it, just because you self-talk it, doesn't mean it's going to happen. You got to do the work. You got to do the work. So know that some days are going to suck, and some days you're not going to feel like doing it, and some days aren't going to be your best days. Short-term memory. Forget about it. Once the day is done, forget about it. Remember what you have to do, what you got to improve on, and the next day attack the day. And then once tomorrow is done, you forget about tomorrow and keep building, right? Short-term memory, because if you take every single day that doesn't go well or lost too personally, you're going to be offended for the rest of your life, and it's going to be hard to creep out of a hole. Think of it this way: you did not come all the way here to tell yourself, I don't want to do this. You didn't sacrifice all this time to come here and be like, look, I'm not going to finish these last couple days. You didn't make those sacrifices. The one thing that you cannot get back is the time that you invest in certain things. When you invest in something, you get a reward from it. When you invest in something, you plant a seed. Yes, that seed might not sprout in the first couple months or the first year, but it's going to happen, right? When you plant a seed, eventually you just got to keep watering it and watering it and watering it, and it keeps to grow. The Chinese bamboo tree doesn't see any growth until the 5th year. It takes 5 years for and the Chinese bamboo tree is like 150 something feet tall, but it takes 5 years for it to grow, right? So in those moments, think of, man, is one thought of quitting worth sacrificing 5 years of work that I've put in, 6 years of work, 4 years of work? Is it really worth it to quit on this one action that I'll probably forget about 2 days from now? Is this moment really worth it? And if you ask yourself that question during those thoughts, and if the answer is of course not, then you just gotta keep pushing along.